from the earth, yes, they come from the stone.
Hello everybody, my name is Jenna and today I'm going to be reviewing the movie Pete's Dragon. Now when I talk about Pete's Dragon, I am of course talking about the new 2016 version. I am not talking about the 1977 version, because if I was going to talk about the 1977 version, this video would be about half an hour long because I have a lot to say about that movie. It was terrible. Luckily though, the 2016 version was amazing. I loved every second of it. I laughed, I cried a little bit, I'm not going to lie. And as soon as the movie was over, I went to Toys R Us and I bought myself an Elliott because I really liked the movie. So this is going to be a spoiler-free review, so don't worry if you haven't yet seen the film. However, I do highly recommend that you go and see it because it is an amazing movie. So the film follows Pete, a young boy who ends up lost in the woods after a car crash killed his parents, which was a horrible way to start the film, by the way. I was like already in tears and we'd only seen like 5 minutes worth of the film. In the woods, he is found by a dragon whom he names Elliott, and Elliott decides to take care of him, and the two of them live together in the woods for the next 6 years. 6 years have passed and Pete is finally found in the woods by Grace, who is a forest ranger. Well, technically he is found by Grace's soon-to-be daughter-in-law, Natalie, but Grace is sort of, they're all sort of there when Pete is found, but Grace is the one who sort of takes Pete home and looks after him, while the entire time he is asking for Elliott, which is really cute. Honestly, the plot was actually really basic for this film. There was nothing super complicated about it at all. It was literally about this boy who lost his family 6 years ago, was found living in the woods with this dragon, and then it's all about his story and how he goes from living in the woods to all of a sudden being in with society. It's actually done really well. There's a scene in the hospital where he sees this balloon, and it's very obviously the first time in a really long time he'd seen it, because when he hits it and it sort of comes back to him, he is terrified, and I loved that. I loved seeing him be terrified by these super, normal things that people wouldn't usually be scared of, but of course because he's been living out in the woods for so long, he just has no idea. So the big theme in this film is definitely family. Almost every single main character, with the exception of Elliott and Pete, were related to each other in one way or another, and it was actually really cute because we only had about 6 main characters, and yeah, they were pretty much all related to each other, which I thought was kind of adorable. So the film takes its inspiration from the 1977 Pete's Dragon, which was also produced by Disney. However, when Disney announced this film, they said that they were just taking inspiration from the original. They were doing a completely new story and it wasn't going to be a musical. And honestly, that makes me so happy because I decided to watch the original before I went and saw this one. And oh my god, let me tell you, they are not even remotely similar to each other, okay? And I didn't like the original because let's just, I'll paint you a little picture, okay? The original film opens with a song that glorifies child abuse.
Gonna snag him, gag him, drag him through town, put his head in the river, let the pup drown, trap him, strap him, wrap him in a sack, yeah, tie him screaming to a railroad track.
They're gonna tie him screaming to a railroad track. I'm sorry, how is that appropriate for a children's film? It's not appropriate at all, which is why I'm super glad that this new movie is nothing like the original. So I definitely cried in this film. I mean, I cry in most films, let's be real here, but this one in particular I cried in, especially towards the end, because it was so cute, and the fact that the family was the main theme, it just made it really hard hitting, and I loved this film. Like I said before, there are only about 6 main characters in this film, and because of that, you'd think we get to know a lot about them, but in actual fact, we don't really get to know much. We're sort of told everything sort of right from the beginning, like this is who they are, but we don't really, there's not a lot of character development apart from probably Pete gets the most character development, obviously, and I think Gavin actually gets a little bit of character development as well, but apart from that, we don't really, so it's not a very, it is and it isn't a very character driven story. It's like sort of walks that very fine line of it's all about the characters, but they don't really move on. Like I said, all the characters are basically related to each other. So in the first instance, we have Pete, who is not related to anybody, but he has Elliott, who is his protector. Then we have Grace. Grace is Jack's girlfriend and the daughter of Mr. Meacham. Mr. Meacham is the person who first saw Elliott a very long time ago in the woods. Then we have Jack, who is Natalie's father, Gavin's brother, and Grace's girlfriend. We have Gavin, who is Jack's brother and Natalie's uncle. Natalie, who is Jack's daughter and Gavin's niece, and Mr. Meacham, who is of course Grace's father. And it's also said at one point that Jack and Grace are actually going to be getting married. So once that happens, then literally literally everyone is going to be related by some way or another, like in law. So this film definitely has a big focus on the family aspect. So the bad guy in this film, I guess you'd say he's a bad guy, is supposed to be Gavin, because he's the one who is trying to capture Elliott. But unlike in the original film, Gavin is just trying to capture Elliott to say, I caught a dragon. Yeah, that's right, me, I did it. So he's more just doing it for fame, whereas in the original, that's not why they were doing it.
Every little piece, every little piece. We could make $1 million by slicing him, dicing him. Hoagie we could sell, every little shell. There's enough of him to go around. Money, money, money by the pound. Every little piece, every little piece. I can take a scissor and clip him up, rip him up. Every little part is a work of art. Think of what a dragon heart would bring, wrapped up in a ribbon and a string. Dragon liver can cure a cold. Dragon powder grows hair. Dragon cartilage keeps you thin. Dragon fat is for burns. A dragon tear will clear up your skin. Watch the profits come rolling in. Every little piece, every little crease. All lead me to the dragon. I'll buy him up, tie him up, drag him from the cave. Show him that I am brave. I'll bind him up, grind him up, lop him up, chop him up.
I say again, they thought that was appropriate for a children's film. Things were very different in the 70s. Speaking of the 70s though, I spent the entire movie trying to figure out when the film was actually set, because they had these really old phones that were like on the board and they had the dial, and I was like, is this film set in the 80s? It must be set in the 80s. Turns out I was right, it is set in the 80s. The last thing that I want to mention is Elliott himself. Elliott is my new favorite dragon of all time. He is basically a giant puppy dog. So not only is he beautiful and nice and fluffy, which is really cute, and green, which is a little odd, he is basically a puppy. Like, he's always really, really happy to see Pete. He's upset when Pete's gone. He's excited when he gets home, and he's very protective of him. So he's basically a giant puppy dog, which I think is really, really adorable. So I give this film 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5 stars, A++, and recommend it to absolutely everyone. You should go and see this film. But I don't recommend seeing the 1977 version first, unless you want nightmares and to be scarred for life. Thanks for watching. Let me know down in the comment section below if you have seen Pete's Dragon or if you are planning on seeing this film. If you like this video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing. Stay random. Bye.